Now I'm going to pass it over to Zay Clarke to lead us through displaying your impact through web design. So clap it up with your hands or with your emojis or with what you have, and let Zay feel welcome.
Awesome. And again, like I want this to be as fun and interactive as possible. So feel free to come off camera, mute, put it in the chat. Even as I talk through these things, definitely put questions in the chat so as towards the end, or if I can just answer it real quick as I move through this, the more the better. Okay, so again, I'm Zay. Happy to do this. There's a lot of good content in here, so I will move relatively quick through, but this is being recorded lecture style, right? So you guys always come back to look at it. Also, we'll be sharing the slides. They're made in a way that it's actually quick hitter information with tangible information you guys can take with you. So absolutely feel free to request that if that's something that you want as well. Okay. Awesome. Let's get it. So the breakdown. All right. So this is the outline of what we're going to be going through today. It's about 6 points. Just about multiple things. It's not just web design. There's a misconception that the web design is just colorful pictures and your homepage, but there's a lot that goes into it. I see design as anything that you can actually make or create. So it's outside of just pictures. So I was just talking with Blue about e-commerce. Is how do you design the back end to properly sell your merchandise, right? How do you set up the shipping setup, right? Your brand, your identity, right? How do you display that online? Those are the type of things that is all encompassing of your website. And a lot of the things I do with my partners, especially I work with my larger partners, is telling that whole holistic story when you work your website. So first things first we're going to do is prepare your journey, ways to plan your website build, because a plan and an idea, if you got an idea with no plan, just a dream, ladies and gentlemen. So what we're going to do first and foremost, talk about some things that you guys must do before you start a website build. Second thing we're going to do is just some minor website building tools. So, Squarespace of the world, just some best practices and good tips that you guys can use literally as soon as we get off the call today. Number 3, the web page. What is the web page, right? Again, best practices building an effective web page. There's a formula that anybody use in any industry that is like, it will get you conversions, get you what you need to do done. And then the back half of it is a lot of supporting information around branding, around content, around SEO, around blogging, around tying in social media. Again, those are the tertiary and secondary things that adds validity to your website and how people experience you. You dig? So give me a slide, please. So first things first, planning like a boss. All right, that is me rooting for you guys. All right, so before you build your online presence, you got to have a plan. You got to crawl before you walk. We all heard that things before. So here's some things that you guys should think about before you start a project. First, why do you need a website in the first place? Secondly, what are you trying to accomplish in the short term? All right, I always say websites are fluid and ever evolving. You cannot make a website for 1 month and look that way and leave and think it's going to convert for where your business grows in the next month, maybe business grows in the next year. Okay, so I always tell people that get your short-term goals down, also get your long-term goals and maybe medium-term goals as well, and how your website can help you as you move through. Okay. And then, last 2 goals, what is your target audience and what are your business goals? Before we do anything, anytime I make a website, one of the main things I like to do is work into you guys' business plan. So if you don't have a business plan or a personal plan or a career plan and you want to make a website, I think of it as an empty vessel, right? Again, because your website is meant to help you convert and accomplish those goals. Okay, those? And slide me. Again, as you guys have questions that I move through this, definitely put the questions in the chat. We'll definitely circle back to them. All right, so some planning tips and tools. Very, very tangible, easy to understand. First things first, connect with a pro. Your bro that did their Shopify website and made a couple of dollars, not a professional. Okay, talk to somebody like myself. Link with some people like Evelyn that has access to these type of people that can easily give you a 15-minute conversation on these things. In my experience, professionals that that really doesn't really love the stuff, a 10-minute conversation about some quick hits is literally nothing. If somebody charges for a 10-minute conversation, we gotta let them out. We gotta let them out. We gotta let them go. We gotta let them go. So talk with a pro. All right. If you guys think an investment is enough, right, for more of a 2-hour session, pick your brain session, invest into it. The amount of information you can get just in this first step to point you in the right direction is so valuable when you're making these online representations of you and your business. Secondly,
but wait, real quick, you said if a web designer tries to charge you for like 10 minutes of their time, then they're beating you in the head.
Yes. And this is coming from somebody who done 700 of these. Like if like Blue asked me a question about some e-commerce things, it's easy for me to just tell him 5 things real quick because I don't have to research it. It's in my head already. So just like a conversation you talk to somebody in the bar, if you DM somebody they want to talk to you, in my opinion, they haven't been doing it that long, or they are busy. But I don't think they're not been doing that long. It's my personal opinion. Know what I mean? We're all a family. We all, you know what I'm saying? We're all from the same kin, so we should be able to help each other. Real talk. Know what I mean? So, secondly, analyze the competition. This is a big one. What are they doing well online? What are they missing? I always say all the time to my partners, Nike.com, billion-dollar corporation. If they put their logo on the left and they have 5 items on the right, it works. So you can't put 12 items in your, and put your logo on the right. Do it works. All right. You'll be able to see real quick some of these industry leaders, what they're doing, and then you can either emulate or use that as a baseline to build your brand. Okay. Listen to your customers. Your website is not for you. I'm gonna stop right there. Your website is not for you. It's for your customers. One of the biggest things people kind of do is really put their personal emotions into their website. It's my baby. I love it. But you're not buying your own stuff. You feel me? So one of the things I like to do is just talk to people, right? Listen to your parents, listen to your players. This is sports focused, but again, listen to your demographic that you're going to talk to. Ask them what they would want in a website. Ask them if you have a product, what would you need a website to make a decision? Those little notes, what you could do, go back to your website design, website developer, and make a website that's honestly going to convert for those type of folks. Okay. And the last but not least, YouTube it. Google it. All right. It might sound cliche, but you can find so much resources on this stuff online. The do's and don'ts, everything in it. You can find anything online if you have the right questions. So that's why the first point is such a good thing. Because a conversation like that will give you 5 or 6 prompts in your head to go and research before, and you'll get the answers that you need. You know what I mean? So YouTube University, that's facts, Bernadette. That's facts. Give me a slide, Evelyn, please. So modern website building. Here are what I recommend that most people should use for website builders if you're not a developer or designer. Squarespace, #1, best for creatives, best for out-of-the-box website building. They are, I call a boutique website builder out of all the rest of the big players. You can literally make a website from answering a few questions. They'll give you 5 pages. You don't have to do anything but change your photos and your colors. You get optimized web pages from a designer, from a company, a corporation that's done this for years and have done millions. Squarespace is one I usually recommend for creatives, photographers, people that have a niche brand. Next thing is Wix. I used to hate Wix. Wix is on the come up. They just released their new design system, which I approve now.
Wix used to be mad ugly, no shade.
I hated Wix, but they taken strides in the right direction. They just released their new design system about January, so it's good. But best of Kofi customizations, but there's a learning curve of how I like to place things because it is canvas based. Squarespace is grid based. If you go look at Squarespace, Wix is canvas based, so you have to place things based off lines and like in the perfect spot. Squarespace locks you into a grid based system, which it limits you, but it really does force you to keep that responsive flow between all your devices. All right. WordPress is my realm because I know how to code. I say nobody use WordPress unless you know how to develop or design or professional. Don't use it because it's you have a lot higher ceiling, but it's a lot more of a skill gap, as I like to say. So people that need, pages with 200 pages, 300 pages, I built sites with like 400 pages. That's like, blogs and they're selling merchandise. I use WordPress because I don't have any limitations from a system like Wix or Squarespace. I can code what I want. Okay. And last but not least, if you're selling anything, Shopify. If you are trying to sell or create a legitimate store, do not use anything with Shopify. If you're starting out and you're selling something that's a secondary or tertiary part of your business, Squarespace or Wix is fine. But if you want to take something serious, inventory, shipping, tracking, Klarna, Afterpay, that type of stuff, Shopify, 100,000%. But then again, it's something that Shopify out of the box, you can have something made, but I do recommend you consult a designer if you want to get that high quality look. People like Skims, people like Givenchy and Gucci, they all use a proprietary version of Shopify. Google it.
Say it again.
All the big players use a proprietary version of Shopify. That's why the stock is so high. They lease and white label a version of Shopify so they can do their business. They all work on the same things. Now, on the top of it, a developer like myself can create my own customizations to it. But as far as the infrastructure of shipping, receiving, payments, that type of stuff, Shopify. Okay. Stripe is a payment processor, so it's not a storefront. Trisha. So they basically only thing they do is take credit cards. So Stripe integrates with Shopify, but Shopify think of it as a store, like a Target. You can inventory all that stuff, but you swipe your credit card. Target doesn't own that, that swiper. It goes to a payment processor.
So can I ask? So with
Oh.
Shopify, with all of these big boys still being able to use Shopify, should we start a Shopify on our own and then call the pros like you to make it do the Givenchy looking things, or what?
So Shopify works on themes, right? For the look. The hardest part of Shopify is getting to look and function how you would want. The easy part is setting up the store. You can sell things over one product, it'll be fine, but it's the look. So those people have people in an office somewhere like myself, 5 of us working in that store 24/7. So I always tell people, understand the limitations of you as an entrepreneur and as a single person has versus these companies, right? So if you want a certain look, certain feel, certain functionality, like if you go to Apple and they have that menu and things to scroll in, that's all strictly code and customizations and design, right? So if you want that type of quality on the front end, right, of what your brand looks like, be real with yourself and what you understand, what you can pay for, right? But if you want the base functionality of shipping and tying it FedEx and UPS pretty easily, Klarna and that type of stuff, that's something you can do out the box. The basic themes of Shopify. If I answered a couple of questions. Awesome. Charlene, I'll answer that towards the end with the code-free customizations. All right, Slimy. I'm hot. Whatever you guys ask me, I got answers. It's up here. It's up here. All right, so the web page, my friend, this is my favorite slide. 7 steps to make the best web pages right here, okay? What I'm gonna do, these are high-level points, but I will go through each section, all right? It's very simple, right? It's 7 steps, 7 elements. Element 1, the most important one. What are people doing on the site? It's called a call to action. So whenever you go to a store and you gotta click shop now, add to cart, that is a button, that is a link, that is a call to action. That is the point of the page, all right? Number 2, what is it, right? Those big titles that you see on the page, usually what you want is to tell people straight up what's happening on the page, right? So if you have an about page, you put about first. That is what I mean by what is it. You don't want people to search for what's happening on the page. So those big titles and headings, use that to quickly convey the purpose of the page, all right? Third level to support those titles is why should they care? Relevant content. And I say, why should they care? Very importantly, because again, we love our brands. We love our website. We want to talk about our values and how much we've been doing this. And we want to change the world. Nobody cares because nobody reads, right? So I always tell people, keep it short, keep it sweet, keep it to, if somebody you talk to in a bar and you have 5 seconds to explain your brand, that's the type of words you should put on your website. Anything deeper than that should be behind some type of conversion wall, like an email or a number that they can talk to you and you guys can pitch yourself, okay? And then some secondary stuff. Hey, burn it down. Keep it at 100 in here. I'm giving you out the gems in here. So relevant photos, right? So if you're going to put a picture on your website, don't put 5 of them, right? 1 or 2, get the point across. Again, people do not read. We're in an age of Instagram and TikTok, which is all quick content, right? So we swipe, we like, we swipe. 1 good photo, easy icons and visuals, again, to help support the main 3 first elements, which is call to action, what is it, and why should they care? All right. Element 5, navigation. Everybody knows what a navigation bar on their website is. I gave you guys the Apple example. Quickly, somebody should be able to look those 5 pages, what people are going to expect on your website. And last but not least, social proof. You got to build credibility. All right. And then element 7, to bring it all together, is your footer. Every website needs a footer and a good one. Putting your phone number down there and a couple of social media icons is a bad footer. So if you have one, redo it. All right, you want your full sitemap down there. You want your any way to contact you. You want any type of tertiary signups like a newsletter or a promotion. Those are the type of things somebody should look at the bottom of your website and know everything about your website. Just by looking at it. All right, and I mean well when I say it's bad. Just do more. There's some more we can do. We're gonna get into that.
In my business right now, and like,
all right, slide me, Evan, excuse me, slide me. All right, so first and foremost, again, call to action is very simple. It's a button. Everybody's seen a button before, a link. This is what it looks like. Decide on one main thing per page that you want people to do. Everything else is, if they never even see it, you're okay with it. Every page should have one central call to action that you want them to do. All right. Sign me. Number two, how does the headings? This is a good example. Somebody brought a Stripe. So I didn't read your mind before this, but I had already had it in there. All right. Somebody should be able to look at this and understand what the page is about. This one says financial infrastructure for the internet. That's what Stripe does. I know what's going on. Everything else after that is your buttons. So slide me. Number three, why should it care? Relevant content. Paragraphs and writing essays on websites, please don't do it. Nobody reads it. So if you're on your homepage, any page that you want to convert fast, ditch the paragraphs. Use relevant assets like icons, like photos, like flyers. And then if you're going to talk about something, use the first point, 2 and 3, which is easy to read titles, relevant content. Quickly, you got to get the point across, less conversions you lose. So this is a good example. Why you should buy a Mac. 4 points. Now we're going to buy a Mac because we're going to save money, customize it, easy pickup, good. Now I know what to do. You guys feel me? Next slide. Number 4, relevant photos. Apple does a great job of this because now we know what the product looks like. So my people that are selling clothes or selling e-commerce, great photos are great. Make sure people can see everything. You don't have to put 40 of them, 1 or 2, boom, get the point across. And again, as you guys can see in the last 2 slides, we have icons, we have short form content that supports what you guys are trying to sell or what you're trying to convert on. You guys see me? There's no essays in these because again, people do not read. And nowadays with content on SEO, which we'll get into a little bit, Google cares about keywords, right? First, before an essay, right? So all it's going to do is look for those high level keywords when somebody searches. So for example, a keyword is, if I want to find a dinner party, I'm going to type in dinner party NYC. If Evelyn never put dinner party NYC on her website, nobody's going to find it. You feel me? Now, something like this, where she does, things for the community, she has a nonprofit, she has some scholarship funds. If you don't have a page talking about the Evelyn, we're going to talk after this. All right? Because people got to find you. People got to find you. All right, next. Navigation, very simple. Again, the days of a 25 item nav bar is behind you. Points to get the point across on your menu, clear, intuitive navigation, logo on the left, links on the first row, anything secondaries outside of that. And as you guys can see, things have different sizes. So if the main important links are the biggest ones, the secondary links on top of it are a little smaller. If I look at it from only over here, I should still be able to see the general structure of the menu. All right, next one. Keep it simple. All right, go back. Just want to see, I see the keep it simple at the bottom. Got to keep it simple. All right, next. Social proof. I love this. I love this. One of my favorite things. All right, social proof. We're all on social media. The best way to build credibility and to close conversion loops is social proof and impact stats. So I'm a huge fan of numbers and bullet points. So you guys can see on the left. You don't even care what the little text is on the left. You just see the numbers. We all know what $1.4 billion is. You don't even care what it is. You just know it's a lot. All right. So those are fastest ways to help people make a decision and close a conversion loop. Impact stats like that. And on the right, we have blog content. Blogging is not dead. I wish people would do a lot more of that because it's very important and impactful. Write blogs. It works. Next. Footer. Bring it together. All right. We can slide this one. Self-explanatory on this one. Great. So that was the web page, right? So I'm going to talk a little bit about logos and branding and just some misconceptions there. Your brand, your identity, and logo are 3 different things. If you are, yes, questions too, but we should probably take the time. I want to fly through these real quick. Your logo is not your brand. Your brand is not your identity. All right. So these are the 3 different versions of it. We're going to go through a little bit. So slide me. So your logo is just your mark, right? Everybody knows what the logo is. Jumpman, the swoosh, the Adidas. It's just that graphical mark that's representative of your company. It's quick, it's easy, it's recognizable, something that somebody can look at and be like, I understand what that is. Okay. Scroll. Now, most people just get a logo, but the thing that messes most of our creatives and business owners up is that we have no identity behind it. We have no brand story behind it. So if reason why we wear Nikes and Jordans over, the Chinese man stuff, on the side because the status, the way it makes you feel, and the notoriety that comes with wearing those shoes. And that's what people must feel when they talk to your brand. They hold that magazine. This is what it's about. Yes, surely we will have access to these slides. Next. Brand, same type of deal. The main reason why we'll spend $3 on some Starbucks versus going to the Ox and get a little $1.20 is why brand is important. All right, we buy a logo most of the time. If you walk into inside your office with a Starbucks can, they can look at you like, that must be good. You walk inside your office with just a regular cup, might feel a little different about you. You might feel a little different about it when you walk in with it, right? You might not show it as high. You might put it on the side. That's what I mean by the brand, right? Next. And again, identity is just more so the more 30,000 foot view of it. So your colors, your palette, your topography, your website, what people expect out of you, what people feel when they look at you, right? Your first impression, your last impressions, right? What they talk about you behind the room. That is more like your overall identity. It's a mix of everything. Okay. Next. Again, so these are some of the better companies that we look at, right? Everybody has a feeling right now when they look at each of these logos. I'm not going to tell you how to feel. I feel certain things when I look at Tesla versus Nike. But as that is engineered, sometimes unintentionally as well. Especially what Elon is moving on Twitter. We feel very differently now about Tesla than when it first came out. And that's what I mean about branding in general. Next. So next we're going to move to is content. If you have a website, please open your ears. Please open your ears and make them big. Make them really big.
I'm tired already. I'm exhausted already.
Dropping gems, free game, free game. You need a blog. You need a blog. If you own a website, you sell something, you need a blog. The best way Google indexes your website is from blog content. Blog content is organic, relevant content, usually for the time. So, for example, Google just changed their algorithm to move away from meta descriptions more for keywords. So if I write a blog about top 5 ways to fundraise for a nonprofit, that is what people are going to type in Google, and that's what's going to help you rank up on your website. Because you have relevant content, you have more hits because of the type of content. Now, if you have 7 pages and you have an about page, a contact page, and a home page, you don't have nearly as much word count, nearly as much relevant content, and you have what I call a website with no replay value. So once somebody comes to your website, they get what they need. What's the reason to come back? They got what they needed, right? So if you guys have content and that type of stuff on your website and it's relevant outside of social media, and it can be attended with social media, those are the things that help people come back, and you can find brand new customers that then outside of your own circle. Okay. So gem right there, please. If you want to help with your SEO, content and in tandem with social media.
I have a question or
Yes,
comment.
Crystal.
So you said a blog, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So for example, a clothing company, what would their blog be about? Or what would they have? What would the blog be like? Would it be like, you mean like having a tab that's like just a blog?
I got you right now. So if you have a fashion company, right? Fashion trends of the season. We all search for what's popping right now. And so that immediately I would type that in. We all go to Pinterest, right? Think of Pinterest as a blog. Go to Pinterest to look for what? Styles, fashion, what's going on, right? I would literally take a Pinterest board, all the items on that Pinterest board, put it in Word format, and put all the links on your website. Now you have that you didn't write, you didn't need to write, but now people have a tangible link in a place that's not on an app that they can go to, and you can get information.
And this will boost people purchasing your item.
Because it establishes you as a thought leader in a space and an expert.
Okay, noted. Thanks.
I mean, now what you do is that, like, if you guys sell sneakers, or let's say you're a boutique and you sell, like, summer's coming up, you sell maxi dresses, right? So you'll say five styles for summer 2024. Instead of 5 products or styles that nothing to do with you, you pick 3 that you sell and 2 that somebody else sells. That way you have a direct link to your products. People get the information, and now people trust that it's quality because you just taught me something. So automatically I'm thinking in my head, I trust this person, I trust this brand.
Okay, thanks.
No problem. Free game. Next. Posting the right way. Again, it's the best way to get seen nowadays on social media. It's not even a opinion anymore. The same way I just said about the fashion stuff on your written content for Google searches, you take that same information, repackage it, put yourself in front of the screen and talk about it on social media and put it as a reel. If you get 2 sales off of that, that is better than most conversions of companies around the world. If you get 2 sales off a video, there's no reason why none of us as business owners should be able to do this, because this is free. This is free marketing. It's free marketing. The reason why we're all here, because of what I made a reel, Evelyn put this up online. Now we're all here. So please, content is king. Blogs, and then get into the real game. You do not have to be a perfect person. Turn your phone on and just talk about your products. Put a link directly to your website. You get conversion just like that. Okay. Next. So this is some facts, just so you know, you guys know I ain't BSing. So blogs are the second most common form of media used in content marketing. Facts. This is every company on the planet Earth, by the way. And blog is not just written content. Like, for example, I'm using Nike as an example. Just like how you just signed Caitlin Clarke. That is a form of content. We all know Caitlin Clarke. We all love this person. Now Nike just threw their brand on it. We are going to buy her jersey. We're going to buy her jersey because we love her. And they get secure that content flow. Number 126, right? Blogs that generate content, 126% more leads than those who don't. Look up the stats, it's dead facts. All right. So these are this is
how did, like, was it, did we just say that blogging wasn't fetch and then we just stopped? Like, because I started out as a blogger and then they were like, no, it's only video content, it's only photos that matter. And now you're telling me that blogging is back. It's kind of like,
it never left, but the issue is that people move on trends.
okay.
And it's groupthink in a sense, not in a bad way, but it's groupthink in a sense of what's hot. Right now, social media is hot. So you want to follow the hot thing, but you forget about the stuff that's been working since the .com boom in 2000, right? At the end of the day, if you want to find a restaurant, you're probably going to Google it. Google's not Instagram. You feel me? So great question. All right, keep moving. So SEO, perfect segue. SEO is not just 3 letters. It means something. It's basically search engine optimization. It's a set of processes and like tasks that you must do to improve your visibility in search engines. So there's other search engines, but Google's one that matters. So here's a couple of things that you must do. So to help your company rank on search engines, you got to establish credibility in the industry you're in. You attract more visits to your site, turns leads, and you cultivate an online community, engage your audience. And last but not least, based off of those facts, what are your business goals in correlation to those things? Okay. Again, that's why content, that's why putting the right tech into your website, writing the right words, optimizing your text, right? Like those are a couple of things that helps with that. So I'm gonna give you guys some free game with this as well. What's next? If you guys ever Google anything, the top few are ads. So you guys will never beat them if you don't pay money. Never. You never rank over those people. And then underneath that, you guys will see the organic results, which you must earn through good SEO practices. Okay. If you guys want to test out my theory, go Google anything. You'll see ads that will be first, and then the people who earn it. Okay. Next. So here's some tips that you guys can do. If you guys remember nothing from SEO, just do this. Just do this. This is the best way. And you can Google these things one by one, and it'll give you easy ways to optimize it. So number 1, target relevant and primary secondary keywords. That is what I mean about if I have a clothing brand and I sell maxi dresses, I better have maxi dress in my heading. I better have maxi dress in my content. Those are keywords. Keywords essentially, when you go on Google, you type in red maxi dress, those three keywords. If I type in nonprofits in Brooklyn, those are keywords, right? So you put on your website literally for word and your paragraphs what you want to be found as. You cannot rank number 1 for everything. You cannot rank number 1 for everything. So pick those specific keywords from your demographic or your potential customers that you think, or you can ask them what they search for, and you write content with those words, and that will help you rank higher in those searches. All right.
Just clarification. You probably said this, but I just want to clarify again. So the SEO comes from things that you write on the website.
It's a mix of things. That is one of
things. That's one of
the pillars.
So
yes.
it could also come from like the description of the product.
Yes. Yep. Those anything that's an actual word or text on the site, no matter what it is, Google robot to read and counts as
Okay.
keywords.
Okay, got it. Thanks.
No problem.
So it doesn't matter where these words show up, because I'm always confused on whether like the title of the web page should be XYZ. Like, so you're saying wherever on the website, I could just use the word and Google is gonna.
Great. Going back to what I said earlier, right? You have your headings. Point number 2, your headings. That should be what the page is about. In 3 words, 2, 4 words, 5 words. Then you have your content where it should describe what the page is about. Right? The headings tell you what it's about. The content describes what it's about. That makes sense? So I can say, yo, order me a Paloma. Do we know what a Paloma is made of? I don't know. I don't know what that means. I like it though. So the content will explain the ingredients, how to make it, what it costs. You guys feel me? Great question. Right? Quality original content. ChatGPT will not save you. Don't use it and not edit it. Google can tell if it's reused, repurposed content. I love AI, but I tell everybody this, use it to give you an outline, and then you go over the top of it, kind of like when you cheat in school and college, and you rephrase it. Okay? Gems. Use
No
short.
one on this call ever cheated in their school.
Definitely cheated. Short and descriptive URLs. All right. So if you have a page, right, especially somebody that's selling clothes, you should not have a 12 word URL. So if you have, maxidresses.com, it shouldn't be the best maxi dress in all of America and you should buy it today. That should not be in your URL. So I would just keep it to, floral pattern maxi dress, right? Something easy that matches with your keywords. And last but not least, anything that loads slowly, anything that's not optimized content, anything that you don't want people to see, delete it. Delete it. Don't even hide it, delete it. Because it's gonna pick up that up. All right. And last but not least, like study your competitors, see what they do. If you guys have somebody, this is last slide. If you guys have somebody that that's beating you in business, or you guys want to be like, find out what keywords they rank for by just searching those things and go to their website and see what they do. And not steal, but use that as the baseline to improve your content, improve your website. Okay. Chris, since we're talking about clothes, right? So like if you have somebody that, they're doing well, like Kim Kardashian, her Skims brand, she does amazing things on her website. Some people don't like Kim Kardashian. She's a great businesswoman. So I would go there and see how they structure their products by category. I would see how she puts her content for her descriptions. Where does she put the size guide? Do all those things because it works. And then you mold and improve in your own business, in your own situation. Okay. There's not stealing. You cannot invent anything on the internet right now. So everybody's stealing from each other, but it's a proven science to these things. And SEO, I would say, compared to design, right? SEO is a finite algorithm. This is what works. Don't veer from it. This is what works. Okay. So that's it. QA.
Applause, everybody. Show some love to Zay.
That was awesome.
That was, right?
That was amazing.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
That was some food for thought, y'all. I feel like there's a lot that I definitely got to circle back and chew on. There are a few questions in the chat. Trisha asked, should we also be thinking about optimizing a website for generative engines too? What's your advice there?
If Google has a new name called generative engines, then I'm new to that. Shouldn't worry about nothing but Google. And that's based off an algorithm. I would say AI is too new right now because it just got to the masses. AI has been existing because artificial intelligence, we've been doing machine learning, but now it's into the masses and people are developing things for it. So all of it is pseudoscience right now, in my opinion. So you should be focusing on, again, what is the leader and what is the rest of the world using to find you? And right now it's Google and social media. So those are things you should focus on. Yes, Urban, amazing. I'm in my software office, so that's what we do all day. Any other questions like that? I know we got a couple in here.
Charlene had asked, no, I'm like, not Charlene. Yeah, Charlene did ask, code-free customization. Can you explain what this means?
Awesome. Yes, yes. It's basically you can make websites and change things without needing to write code. So once upon a time, to make a website, you need to find a developer that knew HTML, like myself. Now you can make things using Squarespace or Wix and just dragging little elements into your page. That's what I mean by code free.
Shout out to the dragging and the
drag it
elements.
and drop it. Drag it and drop it. Very key.
Got
That
it. Thank you.
Absolutely. And
I had a question about when you had mentioned Nike, because like Nike has the logo on the left, the clicks on the right or whatever. So like where do we avoid not looking like everybody else? Is that the brand identity's job or the web designer's job? Like, I don't mind clear navigation, but like, I'm the kind of person that doesn't want my website to look like everybody else's.
why not? Why?
Because you're gonna get bored.
So let me give you this analogy. We all know what a car is, right?
Yes.
Why is the steering wheel a circle? Why is the brake right and the brake on the left? It works. This is how the world works. So in the terms of functionality and function, you should never try to be different because you're not an expert and you don't control the narrative. So for example, when Facebook came out, Instagram came out and they changed their things, it takes us a day or two to learn it. And it's usually met with a lot of friction. So in the sense of looking different in your website, then you lean on more your brand identity, your logo, your brand vision, right? So your colors, why is your logo look a certain way? What are you actually talking about on the website, right? That's what makes you different because that's how people experience the website. Or like I use, for example, driving a Porsche versus a smart car. Very different. It's a car. You feel me? So I would focus more on those things, the pictures that you take, the video that you take, these type of sessions that you're doing, professionals like myself. If people get a lot out of these things, that all contributes to the brand at the dinner party. These slides, you don't care about the slides. I don't even care if you could have put a slide on a piece of paper. It doesn't change how the information is being received because I'm the person owning that. You aren't. You're just a facilitator. You feel me?
Right.
So when you package this stuff up and use it on your social media, that type of things, right? Get the content out because and at the end of the day, that brings the most value to the customer. And that's what separates you from other folks trying to do this. Thank you, Mo.
That's
It was
good.
amazing. It was amazing.
Enjoy your dinner, Nifa.
Evelyn, that makes sense?
Bye, guys.
It did make sense. Yeah, I'm gonna break free. It's okay. I just gotta be dramatic about it first.
I'll leave you with this, and I'll tell it to my customers. You don't have enough leverage to be different right now.
Okay.
Until you have enough clout or pull, not in the sense of people know you, but like you're shifting the narrative of how even this is run. Until you can do that, then you can change how people receive it. Right now, we on Zoom, we on slides, we talking about it. Feel me? All right.
So I gotta break the internet.
You gotta break the internet. Shirley, and I got a question for you. As a small business owner, how much should I be really investing into web design, logo, etc? I'm finding it's a good question. It's a good question. So
Wait, what was the question? Is it in the chat? Oh, I see it.
As a small business owner, how much should I be reasonably investing for web design, logo, etc.? Because she's finding branding kits, identity packs for upwards of 5K. I would say it depends, right? And this is something that I don't freelance anymore because of this, because I know I'm going to be priced out of my own community. So I try not to freelance at that level anymore when I'm in certain places. If you want a legitimate brand, guy identity, I would say take the price out of it and focus on the value that it's going to bring to you. And then you talk price. Because a lot of people are just slapping numbers on it and you're just getting a logo. But as a small business owner, what you guys need the most is application. How can I use this to grow my business? At the end of the day, Nike's just a swoosh, but they have a strategy around take this swoosh, talk to this influencer, make your website this way. This is how the shoes should look. That is what I'm so passionate about this shit. So like, that's what you guys should focus on, not what your logo looks like. Who cares what your logo looks like? Again, branding is outside of just your logo and like the colors you have. It's the whole ecosystem of how people feel when they look at you. Shirley, you said you do like these workshops and stuff. Like that is the experience you should be focused on because that's what people are going to remember. And they're going to talk to their friends about. And it's, oh, what is this? Then you send them the logo and like the website last. but experiences first. I would focus on that. As far as price wise, 5K, it just depends on what you're going to get in their expertise. I would say anything between 1 to 5K. If you get a logo, style guide, just some general strategy, that's a good range. Anything else higher than that, you're talking about the Coca-Colas of the world, Nikes of the world, where they have like 75-page style guides, strategy sessions. It's a 1 or 2 year project. Like those are like 10, 20, $40,000 projects. Just as I do this at my own job. Like, so if I'm working on this project, I just charge somebody 25 grand for a website. It took us 12 months to finish it because we went from business plan all the way up to the design, build, and then the post stuff. So I can charge a business that makes, $15 million a year. I can charge them 25, 50K. For a small business, you guys got to find that niche, but focus more on value. And then once you get your capital up, then you can go to more of the professional agencies and stuff that gives you more of that strategy. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah. No,
Um,
no, that was helpful. Like I told you when we were in the breakout room, I just need the website to match the experience. And if you can't even book the experience on the website, like that's a problem.
Facts. Don't even get a branding kit. Fix the conversion.
I'm just like, I just want to do the whole site over and like we've shifted, things have changed, and I just want to fix that. And I'm finding it to be super expensive. And I mean, it's an investment I have to pay up for. It is what it is. But I'm like, goodness gracious, like it's adding up. It's a lot. And I'm trying to build this business from scratch. And it's just like, but this is one of those factors that it's super important, and I need everything to align. I need everything to match. So that made a lot of sense. Thank you.
And just to add to that, like I would start with something small and then focus on what people are asking you for. If they say, man, I want to book your services, just focus on that. And that's just adding a page, doing some YouTube University, going your Squarespace and just slapping on one of their pages. That's enough. That's enough. And then, you can build from there. Cool.
I have a quick question. So yeah, one of the things, like I understand like SEO is really important, especially for getting getting found online. Is there any resources you could use to like audit your site?
Yes. Some are free, some are not.
Gotcha.
But one thing I would do is install Google Analytics on your website and Google Search Console. Those are free.
Okay, I did hear about that.
It's free. It's built from Google, and then you can see
Oh.
exactly how certain pages are performing and how you rank on certain keywords.
Gotcha.
But you have to install it and then let it run for like a couple months so you get accurate data. But to track those things, Google Analytics for straight up visits, and Google Search Console for SEO, keywords, and clicks online.
That's super helpful, brother. Thank you.
Absolutely, bro. And again, it's so much resource online to teach you how to read that stuff, but it's a short learning curve, very short learning curve.
That is very good. Thanks.
Mm-hmm. Anybody else? These are great questions.
Just repeat that. Google Analytics, and what was the other one you said?
Google Analytics,
Uh-huh.
Google Search Console.
Console. Okay. Thanks.
Console free. If you have a Gmail account, free 99.
Streets is asking if you have any recommendations for logos and the things.
I would say myself, but I'm closed for commissions right now because it had stressed me out.
Lord.
But there's a couple of folk that might, that I know that does good work, especially on the
So
logo.
maybe offline we can get a list of that, and then I can share it with you.
Yeah, I'll send a few. There's a couple that, one of my good friends, she does great work. Black woman, amazing. And then
Love Black women now.
developers is hard because, again, web design is such a niche thing, even in the corporate world. So it's hard to find good folks like that. But again, I know I'll give you guys some of the info.
Excellent.
And then myself, next year, 2025, I'll be available.
2025. Listen, you might be worth the wait because we're still chewing on this